All right, so we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So just a suggestion, you don't have to, but just to kind of change it up, if it's comfortable for you to sit kneeling. If that's not really comfortable for you, for your knees, for any reason, just sit cross-legged. But just an option to kind of change it up today. And before we start, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the class because this is the beginner series. So each week has a different focus. So it's a full practice, but a different specific focus. And this week is the last week, and the focus is shoulders and chest. So just a little bit like this area, I'm going to talk a little bit, can be kind of tight. And it can be tight for a lot of different reasons. One is because we tend to do a lot of forward hunching, like over our phones. You don't realize when you're looking over that can really cause a lot of stress in your shoulders and neck. And just same thing with hunching over like a computer, driving, those things like that, stress. So when we're stressed out, we don't even realize it. You might start to kind of hunch your shoulders up to your ears, and that can cause tension, poor posture. Also carrying like a bag, like if you're carrying like a purse, a book bag or something, we might not realize it, but over time, just that weight can kind of cause tension in our shoulder or chest, and maybe like an injury, something like arthritis. So that might be a reason that we have tightness in that area. Stretching and strengthening that area can have a lot of benefits, mostly reducing that tension and the pain. It can help with better posture, just overall with your spine, and just kind of improve flexibility and your range of motion for your chest, shoulders, and arms. All right, so we have our strap or dog leash today. We'll be using it later. And let's just go ahead and get started in that comfortable seat. Thank you, yeah. So go ahead and just roll your shoulders out a few times. So let's say about 5 times in one direction and then 5 or so times in the other direction. We help each other out here, it's kind of an unusual place out on the water. Boat studio, figuring out where everything's at. All right. And then from here, just come to sitting up nice and tall. Either close your eyes or soften your gaze, maybe just looking at the horizon or out at the water. And just starting to come to more of a yoga breath. So yoga breath is basically lengthening your breath and breathing in and out through your nose. So just starting to take long, deep inhales through your nose, long, deep exhales out through your nose. With each breath, just starting to feel your body relax a little bit more. Kind of easing any tension that you might have. You have anything in particular on your mind for the next hour or so, just try to let it go. Just try to focus on being present. And using your breath as that tool to come back to if you notice your mind just starts to wander too much. Feel yourself lifted up from the base of your spine, all the way up through your spine, your neck, the top of your head. And notice the sensation of your breath as it's moving through your body. So just kind of notice as you're inhaling, your belly filling up with air, your chest rising, your ribs expanding. As you're exhaling, notice all that happening in reverse. So really notice your chest will drop, your ribs will knit together a little bit, and your belly will empty out. taking a moment to really just kind of feel and embrace being outdoors right now, exactly where we're at. So embracing the winds, the waves, the sounds, the sun setting, all is part of the practice and part of the experience tonight. And take a moment and just set an intention for class. Maybe remind yourself of why you're here, maybe a goal you have, or it can even just be reminding yourself of something you're grateful for. Then you can slowly open up your eyes. And we're just going to start with some arm movement. So we're going to start out taking our arms out nice and long. Good. And we're going to inhale, and you're going to open your chest up, look up towards the sky, kind of arch your back. And then exhale, you're going to round. So it's kind of like a seated cat-cow pose. So rounding the shoulders, rounding the back, chin to the chest. We'll do that a few times, maybe with your breath. Inhale to open, expand, embracing that beautiful blue sky. Exhale, rounding your back, your shoulders, your arms. Do that again. Moving with your breath. One more time. We're going to inhale, open up. And then exhale. This time you're going to give yourself a big hug. And you're going to come to eagle arms. So you're going to cross kind of above the elbows. Twist your arms to bring the hands together. Good. So if this is a little bit tricky for anyone and it seems okay, you would just kind of modify it by bringing the forearms together. So you're here for a few breaths. So you want to take the elbows and you want to lift them up so that they're in line with the shoulders to start with. Good. Gaze is just kind of at your forearms in front of you. Hi, Laura. And you're just bringing those shoulders together. From here, lift the elbows up a little bit more, almost like a little bit of a back bend. And then we're going to round, bring the elbows in towards your stomach. Good. And then lifting up again. Remember which arms at the top, which arms in the bottom, because we're going to switch next time. So inhale, open everything up. And then exhale, give yourself a big hug. Opposite arm on the top, opposite arm on the bottom. Taking your time. You're squeezing your shoulders together in the front. Lifting the elbows up. Yeah, an option to either modify staying here or here. And then you're going to slowly bring those forearms up a little bit, a bigger back bend, whatever feels good. I'm just feeling it out. Deep breath. And then slowly coming forward, and you can round the back, bring your elbows in towards your chest. Good, and then next inhale, you're going to open up. So from here, interlacing your hands behind your back, draw your shoulders down and back. Option to just stay here for a few breaths, and this is really good for countering the forward hunching. Or if you want, you can come forward, bringing the top of your head down to the mat, lift your hips up, and reaching your arms kind of up and over. Good, and then you're slowly going to make your way back down. All right, from here, we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So starting out on your hands and knees, you're going to spread out your fingers, and this is to help protect your wrists and ground through your hands. Tuck your toes, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, lift your hips up and back. Good. So once you're here, you want to kind of relax the head and neck so there's not tension there. So bring your chin towards your chest. And then you want to just kind of stretch out your legs a little bit. So bending one knee, straightening the other. In down dog, if you know you have tight hamstrings and you're not as flexible, it's going to feel better for you to kind of step the feet in a little bit. And everybody looks pretty good right now because we started on our hands and knees. But you want maybe a little bit of a bend in the knees. You want to send the chest towards the upper thighs as you're sending the hips up and back. Taking some deep breaths here, looking maybe between your knees or even up towards your belly button. So down dog is a good pose for your whole body, including your arms and your shoulders and your chest. You want to think to kind of externally rotate the shoulders out to the side, just slightly. Just kind of a second energy. You're just feeling the shoulders rotating outwards. And then when you're ready, we're just going to walk the feet up to the hands, coming to a ragdoll forward fold. So you can have a nice bend in your knees. If you want, you can grab your elbows or even just let the arms hang there. Shake your head and neck, yes and no, just to make sure it's relaxed. Spread out the toes so you're grounding through your feet. Maybe swaying a little bit side to side. And then on an inhale, come to a half lift. Draw your shoulders back. Come up halfway. Good. Exhale, fold forward deeper this time. So maybe just a micro bend in the knees. And then on your next inhale, we're going to reach our arms either forward or out to the side, but just lengthen through the arms to come all the way up. Good. So as you're reaching up, you want to kind of think to draw those shoulders down and back. Reach up long. Good. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. So we're going to go through 2 rounds of sun salutations to warm up the body, but we're going to kind of pause in our cobra pose and kind of spend a little bit of time there. So starting towards the front of your mat, we're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to come to a half lift, drawing the shoulders back. Good. Exhale to bend your knees, plant your hands, stepping back to a plank. Let's pause here for a moment. Just draw the shoulders apart, lift up through your core. So nice, strong plank. Option here, you can come down to the knees, and we're going to lower down super slow. So elbows hug the ribs like a reverse push-up all the way to your stomach. And we're going to pause here and set up for cobra. All right, so you're on your stomach. So for cobra pose, you want your hands to be kind of right at your sports bra line. Draw the shoulders away from your ears, kind of like maybe you're shrugging off a jacket, and then lift up your head, neck, and chest. And you want to be able to kind of hover the hands so that you're using the upper body. Good. Exhale, come back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, come up to a cobra. Good. Kind of just lightly using the hands as a guide. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, lift up. Good. And then exhale, come back down. So inhale, push back to a tabletop and then back into a downward facing dog. So in your down dog, maybe step those feet in just a little bit. Little bend in the knees, send the hips up and back. About 3 to 5 deep breaths. Coming back to that breath like we did at the beginning of class. Long, deep inhales and exhales through the nose. And then bend your knees a lot. Look up to your hands. Step your feet up to your hands. We're going to come to a half lift on an inhale. Drawing the shoulders away from your ears. Head and neck reach out long. Exhale, folding forward a little bit deeper. And then next inhale, you're going to find length to come all the way up. Good. Extend through the arms. Do you want reaching back a little bit if that feels good? Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do 1 more sun salutation. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, same thing. Moving with your breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to bend your knees. Plant your hands, stepping back to a plank. Either staying in that plank as you lower down, or you can come down to the knees, but we're lowering all the way down to our stomach. This time, we're going to come to a locust pose. So take your hands and interlace them behind your back. On your inhale, you're going to lift up your head and chest, lift up the tops of your feet. Good, and let's stay here for about 5 deep breaths. One more deep breath. Go ahead and release, and then make your way back into downward facing dog. 3 to 5 breaths. And then walk or step your feet up to your hands, coming into a half lift. Inhale, exhale, fold forward, and then next inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. So from here, we're going to find our straps, dog leash. It could be anything, really. All right, so we're going to roll the ends so we don't have a lot hanging off the sides. And have it about shoulder distance apart, so something like this. And we're just going to warm up the shoulders to start out with. So when you reach up, you're going to draw the shoulders down and back, and we're just going to start to do like little shoulder circles. So you're going to start in one direction, take your time, and count to about 10. So about 10 circles or so in the same direction. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll switch and go in the other direction. From here, we're going to take our feet out a little bit wider, about medium wide, and we're going to just do full body circles. So you can start towards your right, keeping those arms engaged, coming out to the side, down through to the center, and then up and over to the other side. So kind of rotating your trunk. We'll do 3 big circles in the same direction, and then 3 in the other direction. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll switch about 3 in the other direction. And one more in this direction. All right, good. All right, so from here you can bring your hands down, make it a little bit looser, and we'll adjust it. But you're going to inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, reach it behind you, and you may need to adjust it a lot. So this is really going to open up your chest, your shoulders. We're going to do this a few times. Inhale, halfway through. So maybe inhale to come up, exhale, come forward. Again. Let's do 2 more. One more. All right, very good. So we're actually going to take it behind our back again. All right, so we're going to set up for a medium wide leg forward fold, so your legs are about the width of the mat. And you can kind of play around making it a little bit tighter or making it looser, but we're just going to fold forward. Sometimes we'd have our hands interlaced, but we're going to allow our shoulders a little bit of extra room. And you want to try to lift your arms, your shoulders kind of up towards the sky. You're really flexible. You might be able to lift them over. Lift up through the hips. So just a regular forward fold. You're just keeping the hands up. Yeah, exactly. We're just kind of keeping the hands stationary. Sorry, I think I described that wrong. Taking a few deep breaths here. Making sure you're not sitting back too much in the heels, so kind of sending your body weight a little bit forward. Lift up through the hips to get deeper. Good, and then you're slowly going to make your way all the way up. All right. Release your strap. So we're going to do a pose we usually do seated, but we're just going to focus on the arm part. It's kind of cow face pose. So you're going to take the strap in your right hand. You're going to let it loose behind you, and then take the other hand behind your back. Reach for the other side. So it's going to look kind of like this. And then walk your hands together as close as you can. If you can kind of hook the fingertips, that means you don't need the strap. You could let the strap down. And it's hard because it's windy. So in this pose, you want to think elbow up towards the sky, other shoulders down and back. And you want to make sure, whatever you're doing, that you're not rounding. You want everything to open up and expand. And if that means you kind of loosen the strap, that's fine. As you hold it a little bit longer, maybe you walk your hands a little bit closer together. So here we're kind of opening, expanding the chest, but we're also stretching the tricep, the back of the arm. Deep breath. All right, so we're going to stay in this pose, and you can have with the arms, you can have your feet about hips distance apart, and we're going to come to a forward fold, but with our arms like this. If it's uncomfortable, you can release it, no big deal. But just come to a forward fold for a few breaths, keeping the arms in that same position. One more deep breath. And then you can slowly make your way back up. Release your hands. Maybe just kind of shake it out a little bit. And then we'll switch sides. All right, so same thing on the other side. Moving with the wind. And just kind of notice if one side is a lot different than the other side. It might be. So bringing that elbow up towards the sky, kind of finding if you can walk your hands closer together, further apart, and just taking a few deep breaths here. Everyone looks good, just nice and tall without rounding. And then from here, we're going to fold forward again. So keeping the arms where they are as long as that feels okay. But in yoga, if anything doesn't feel good, you have permission to change it, because yoga is about trying to do something for your body that feels good. One more deep breath here. And then slowly make your way up. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and release, shake it out. And we're going to just kind of set our straps to the side for a little bit. And we're going to do a few standing poses. Yeah, grab a drink of water. So we're going to start out towards the front of your mat. We'll inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold forward. We're going to take a big step back with that left foot. Kind of pausing here, setting up, and kind of like a runner stretch. So you're going to check that front knee is right over top of the ankle. Straighten through that back leg, that back knee. For balance and stability, maybe stagger your feet a little bit. So maybe right foot just a little bit to the right, left foot a little bit to the left. We're going to make our way up here to a high lunge. So for balance, take one hand to the knee, so right hand to right knee, left hand to right knee. Find your balance, and then once you found it, reach those arms up. Good. So this is a leg strengthener. It's a balance pose. We're going to get a little bit more into the arms and the shoulders, so you can bring them to the cactus arm. So you're opening up your chest, expanding through the chest. Good. Maybe if you straighten that leg, working towards getting a little bit deeper bend in the knee. Maybe work towards straightening that back leg. Just doing what you can. If you lose your balance, that's okay. Just come back in. Just try to find something to focus your eyes on to help you balance. We're going to reach those arms up. Spin the back heel down, warrior two. Good. So working towards getting a nicer bend in that front knee. Arms out long to the side and relax those shoulders down and back. Good. Make sure you're not scrunching the shoulders up. Torso's just relaxed in the middle. Deep breath. All right, from here, we're going to straighten that front leg. We're going to come to a triangle pose. So you're going to reach forward. Level one, so just bring your hand to your shin. Top arm reaches up, and you want a long straight line between the arms, so spinning that top hip open. If you're more flexible, you can bring the fingertips all the way down to the mat, but you don't want to place too much weight on your ankle or on your fingertips. All right, from here, bend that top arm, just bringing it behind your lower back. Good, so kind of looking over that left shoulder, so it's just kind of making sure we're opening up the shoulder here. 2 more deep breaths. And then you can make your way all the way up. Good. And then just heel toe your feet closer together and we'll come towards the front of our mat. Same thing on the other side. All right. So let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. And we're going to take a big step back with the opposite leg. So just making sure you switch sides, most important. And let's pause here. So check your front knees over top of your ankle. Maybe straighten through that back leg and make sure the feet are just a little bit staggered. They don't need to be very staggered, but you don't want them in line. A little bit more staggered will help with balance. And then take your left hand to your left knee. Pause. Right hand to your left knee. Find your balance here. And then we're going to reach up. Draw the shoulders back. Deep breaths. You guys look good. And then we'll open up to cactus arms. So opening up the chest, the shoulders, just looking forward. So where you keep your gaze helps a lot with balance. So finding something that's not moving to focus your eyes on. Good. And then reach the arms up. Spin the back heel down. Open the arms out to the side for warrior two. So you can always straighten that front knee a little bit and then work towards getting a nice bend. So we want to work towards that front knee being over the ankle if possible. Make sure we're not leaning forward. Our arms are long, but our torso's in the middle and our shoulders are relaxed. Good. From here, you can straighten that front leg. We're going to come into triangle pose. Reach that arm forward. Maybe you start out, hand can come to the shin, straight line between the arms, or you could even bring the hand lower to the ankle or even fingertips to the mat. But you don't want to dump too much weight in the bottom fingers. You want to lift up through the core. So spin that top hip open, pressing the weight to the bottom hip. Bend that top arm, so hands behind your lower back. Just kind of opening that shoulder up towards the sky. Yes. Deep breath. Next inhale, make your way all the way up. And then we'll step towards the front of the mat. All right, so just for fun, we're going to do a balance pose. So we're going to try, it's harder out here having the horizon, the wind, but we're just going to try. We're going to start in chair pose. So we're going to do eagle pose as our balancing pose. So chair pose, we're just going to sit back, reach the arms up. Actually, let's start with the arms. So give yourself a big hug. So it doesn't matter which arm's at the top, which arm's in the bottom, but take a look, whatever arm's on the bottom, that leg is going to go on top, and you're going to cross, kind of like you're sitting cross-legged. Crossing above the knee, you can keep that toe down as a kickstand, and you're coming to the eagle arms that we did at the beginning of class, lifting that forearm up. Option to keep that toe there as a kickstand, lowering down. You can lift that toe up, so you're balancing on one foot, or the full pose would be to bring that toe behind your calf as you lower down. Deep breath, staying focused. So eyes are just kind of on your forearms. Good. For 3, 2, 1. Make your way up, release, open up. Very good. All right. Same thing on the other side. So we'll start with chair pose. So sit back in chair pose. Reach the arms up. Cross the opposite leg. Whatever leg's on top, that arm's going to go under. So whatever leg's on, so kind of opposite. If one leg's on top, that arm goes under. All right. This is our setup. From here, you can come to your arms, eagle arms, lifting the forearms up. Maybe keep that little kickstand with your toes, or eventually you could work towards going a little bit lower, maybe lifting the toe up off of the mat. Just playing with it, taking a few deep breaths here. Good job. One more deep breath. Make your way up, untwist, open up, shake it out. Great job. All right, great job. Let's grab a drink of water. Whenever you're ready, we'll come to the front of our mats again. We're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, and we're going to step the left foot back, coming to a low lunge with the right foot forward. So drop that left knee down and back. You want to check your front knee is right over top of the ankle, so make sure it's not forward. Make sure it's not back. It's just right there. Good. Let's stay here for a breath or two. And then same thing, we're going to make our way up. So you can take your hands to your knee, find your balance here. And then from here, we're going to interlace the hands behind the back. So option to just stay here kind of with a straight back. Or if it feels good, you can maybe look up, a little bit of a back bend. Drawing those shoulders down and back. Or whatever, you can stay here even. Just finding your balance. One more deep breath. Go ahead and release. All right, so we're just going to switch sides. So let's lift that back knee up, step forward, forward fold, and then big step back with the other leg. Send that other knee down and back. Pause here. So check, make sure your front knee's over top of that ankle. Good. Deep breath or two here, feeling that nice stretch under the leg, a little bit of the hip. And then you can take your hands to that knee, just kind of lengthen through your spine here. Find your balance, and you can even stay here. But just as an option, kind of like another option for the arms, is to interlace the hands behind the back. Yeah. Good. Just taking a few breaths here. I'm going to attempt to take a sunset picture. One more deep breath. Go ahead and release. All right, we're going to come to a child's pose here. So you can come towards the center of your mat, taking the knees apart. Sit back towards your heels, yeah, and just stretch your arms forward. Relax your forehead down. Taking a few deep breaths here, allowing your body to kind of relax into the pose. And then from here, you can make your way onto your hands and knees. And we're going to come to thread the needle pose. So your hands are under the shoulders, knees under the hips. You're going to inhale, reach your right arm up. So a little bit of a twist. And then exhale, you're going to bring that right hand underneath the left armpit. You're bringing the right shoulder down, either the forehead down or the right side of the head down, as you take the left hand behind your lower back. Yes. Good. Taking a few deep breaths here. And then you can take the left hand back down to the mat. We're going to press up, reach the right arm up one more time. So just finishing with the twist like we started. You can bring your hand down and do the other side. So inhale, reach up, twist, stretching up nice and high, and then exhale, thread the needle. So thread that left arm under the right armpit, bring the left shoulder down the left side of the head, or even the forehead down if that feels better. Taking the right hand behind your lower back. Deep breath. And then you can press that right hand back down to make your way up. Twist, reach the arm up. Good. And then come onto your hands and knees. We're just going to do a few rounds of cat-cow pose here. So spreading out your fingers, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Inhale to drop your belly, lift your tailbone up, look up towards the sky. And then exhale, come through to the center, start to round your back, round your shoulders, bring your chin in towards your chest. We're going to move through these two poses a few more times, just kind of stretching out our spine. We'll do one more round of cat-cow. All right, good. From here, we're going to come to puppy pose. So you're going to keep your hips up high over top of your knees, and we're going to walk our arms forward, bringing our forehead down. And this is really targeting our upper back, our arms, our shoulders. If it's too much of a stretch for you, if it doesn't feel good, you can sit back towards your heels, and it'll kind of lessen the stretch on your upper body. But if it feels okay, just keeping the hips over top of the knees. If you wanted to go deeper, you could take your chin down towards the mat and you'll go a little bit deeper. But that might not feel good for your neck, but it's something you can try. Take 2 or 3 more deep breaths. And then take your time to walk your hands back. We're going to come to a child pose variation with your knees closer together this time. Take your hands behind your back to release your shoulders with your palms up, bringing your forehead down. I'm just resting here, a few breaths, kind of a nice counter pose. And then from here, you can come back up, and we're going to make our way onto our belly for Sphinx pose. All right, so you want to make sure that your elbows are under your shoulders. So you don't want them back here, you want them forward. Yes, they could even be just a little bit in front of your shoulders. And then make sure that your shoulders are away from your ears. And this pose is mostly for our lower back. So we'll stay here for a little bit longer. So kind of feeling that stretch in your lower back, but it's also a good stretch just drawing the shoulders down and back, opening up through the chest area. And then you can either stay here, or if you want to just go a little bit deeper for a few more breaths, you can take your hands out a little bit wider, maybe straighten the arms. Only if you want to go a little bit deeper into the back stretch. All right, good. So from here, we're going to reach our arms out long, and we're going to come to half bow pose. So you're going to bend one knee, reach that same hand back for the foot or even the ankle. The other arm's going to reach forward, and you're going to inhale to lift everything up. So lift your chest up, energies through your arms, through the back of your toe, pressing the foot into the hand, staying here a few deep breaths. And then you can go ahead, release. You can relax your forehead on your hands, maybe bend the knees and just kind of bring them side to side to kind of release any tension in your back or lower back. And then we're going to set up to do the same thing on the other side. So just bending the other leg, reach your hand back to the top of that foot. Other arm reaches forward. You could even stay here in the pose. If you want to go deeper, you're going to lift everything up, getting more into a back bend. Press the foot into the hand to open the quad. Energy's reaching through the arms, lifting the upper body, lifting the lower body. Deep breaths, so keep breathing. One more deep breath. And then go ahead, release. You can relax your head on your hands, your forearms. Let your knees come side, or your feet windshield wiper side to side. All right, so for our next pose, if you want, you can kind of just look up and watch me. I'll show you what it's going to look like. And we're going to take our right arm out to the side long. So make sure it's not back by you like a T. And then I'll show you on the other side. And then we're going to roll onto our side, bringing our knees in front of us. So it's going to look like this. And then other hand behind your back. And you're stretching the shoulder, opening it up. Option. If you want to go deeper, you're going to straighten the bottom leg, place that hand, and it'll kind of roll you up a little bit more, getting deeper here. All right. Right arm out long. So make sure straight behind you, it's like a T, and then roll on over top of that shoulder, bending your knees, bringing them forward. Yeah. Option to stay here. You could even take the top hand down, but you can also put that top hand behind your lower back as well to kind of open up that shoulder at the same time. Good. That's perfect. And just relax your head down. And then either staying there with the knees bent, or you could try to straighten the bottom leg, press that top foot down, kind of crossed at the knee. And that just kind of makes you go a little bit deeper because you'll start to roll towards that arm that's out long. Either pose is fine. It's just either variation's fine, just whichever one feels better. Let's take 5 deep breaths here. This is one you can also do up against a wall to kind of really open up the chest area and the shoulder. And then when you're ready, you can roll back third to the center. And we're going to switch sides. So take that other arm out long, roll onto the other side, bring your knees forward, kind of like a fetal position. And either keeping the knees there, or you can play with straightening the bottom leg, pressing that top foot down. See which one feels better. Yeah. And then maybe that top hand comes behind your lower back. Very good. One more deep breath. And then you can make your way back through to the center. Just relax on your belly for a few breaths. And then you can make your way up to a seat. We're just going to come up to a seat just kind of as a transition. If you want, you can grab a drink of water, and then we're going to finish on our back. And since we have our straps here, we might as well use them while we're on our back, so you can kind of have your strap ready too. So if you guys kind of want to watch me first, I'll show you kind of the move we're going to do when we're on our back. If you've come this week, we've already done it. It's a shoulder neck exercise. So you're going to reach your arms up overhead, grab your elbows. Inhale, exhale to bring your elbows to one side. Your head's going to look to the other side. Back through to the center. Inhale, exhale. We're going to do this a few times where your head and basically your head and your elbows are going the opposite direction. So that's what we're going to start with. So you can come onto your back, reach your arms up, grab either elbow, making a frame right above your chest. Inhale, exhale, bring the elbows to one side as your head looks over to you stretch your neck over to the other side. Inhale, come back through to the center. Exhale, elbows move to the other side as your head moves in the opposite direction of your elbows. So just kind of doing this a few more times, going at your own pace. This little exercise is really good if you kind of wake up with that kind of shoulder neck jam that you get sometimes. Kind of helps relieve that. Stretches out the neck and the shoulders a little. Let's do it one more time on each side. All right, good. From here, we're going to set up for a bridge. So you can bend your knees, bring your heels in towards you, press your palms onto the mat, and just lift your hips up. From here, you can interlace the hands behind your back, maybe walk your arms under your shoulders to get up a little bit higher. And you want to lift your chin up away from your chest, expanding through the heart. Keep those hips up high. Legs, you want the knees to be parallel, so you're working those inner thighs. So even kind of squeeze the knees towards each other, but just so that they're parallel. Deep breaths. One more deep breath. And you can take your time to lower back down, starting with your upper back, middle back, lower back. Take your feet out wide. Drop both knees to one side, and then back through to the center, over to the other side. We'll do that one more time on each side. All right, from here you can reach for your strap. And we're just going to use it just for a basic hamstring stretch. So you can start with your knees bent, hug that right knee in towards you, and then place that strap around your right foot. Option to keep that left knee bent so that left foot can stay flat on the mat. If that feels good, it might feel better for your back. Or if you want to get a little bit deep, more of a stretch, you can extend that left foot long. Gently pull that leg in towards you. You want to make sure that you're not kind of yanking on that strap or pulling it as hard as you can. You want to find that spot where you're feeling a good stretch, but you're not forcing it. Feeling that stretch in the back of your legs and your hamstrings. And then you can take the strap, the dog leash, the towels in the right hand, open your hip up and over to the right side. And then bring that strap up through to the center. Take it in the opposite arm, and you're going to bring that leg diagonally across. It doesn't have to go very far unless you want it to. And then you can bring that leg back up through to the center. Bend your knee in towards your chest. Release the strap. You're just going to set the strap to the side, and we're going to come to a twist. So you're going to take that right knee up and over to the left side. Right arm maybe bent at your elbow up overhead. Looking up towards the sky, or you can look towards the opposite direction of your knee for a little bit of a neck stretch. And then make your way back through to the center, and we'll set up for the other side. So bending the opposite knee in towards your chest, placing the strap around that foot. Gently pulling that leg back towards you. If you want, you can keep that right foot on the mat, or you can straighten it out long. Finding your edge in the pose, so that area where you're feeling a good stretch, but you're not forcing it. And then you can take the strap in your left hand and then open the hip up and over to the left side. And then back through to the center. Take the strap in the opposite arm. Bring it across your body. Good, and then you can bend your knee back in towards your chest, set the strap aside, and we're going to come to the twist on the other side. So bring that left knee up and over to the right. Left arm maybe out longer, just bent at the elbow up overhead. And then coming back through to the center, we're going to come to happy baby pose. Hugging your knees into your chest to start with. And then reaching for the outsides of your feet or the outsides of your ankles, bringing the feet up towards the sky. Maybe rocking side to side. You want to bring those knees out wide, pressing the knees down towards the mat. And then bringing the feet together. And we're going to come to a lying down butterfly stretch. So feet together, let the knees kind of just relax out to the side. Allow your arms to come out to the side, your palms up, so allowing the chest and the arms to relax. Try to let the knees relax. Coming back to your breath. Allowing your body to sink a little bit deeper into the mat. Either keeping your feet where they are if that feels good, or you can straighten the legs. Come into a more traditional Shavasana. And we'll spend the last few moments of class just allowing your body to relax, finding a comfortable position to lie on your mat. Getting out kind of any last minute movement or fidgeting so that you can come to a place of stillness. Scanning your body and noticing if you have any tension anywhere in your body, and trying to consciously release that area, relax, and just let go. Maybe looking up at the sky or closing your eyes. And then from here, take a nice deep inhale. Complete exhale. One more time, nice deep inhale. Complete exhale. And then start to find some movement. So maybe rolling out your ankles, rolling out your wrists a few times. And then bending your knees, reaching your arms up overhead, stretching it out. And then rolling onto one side, pausing there for maybe 2 to 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, taking your time to make your way all the way up to a seat. All right, so we'll finish by bringing our hands to our heart center. Taking one more deep inhale, reach your arms out and up. Press the palms together, and you can bring them back down. Just take a moment here to kind of just reflect on your practice, beautiful evening that we have, and just allow the positive energy that you feel from class to be a benefit to yourself and the people around you throughout the day today and throughout the day tomorrow. Namaste. All right, great job. Got such a nice evening tonight. It really turned. What's that?
Yeah, there was a flock of flamingos. Oh, wow. It was so pretty.
Pink one?